Joe Rogan talked about the upcoming lightweight fight between Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett at UFC 296. He gave his analysis of both fighters and made his prediction for who he thinks will win.
Tony Ferguson's been on an unsuccessful streak, and Paddy the Baddy had that controversial fight with Jared Gordon. It's good fighting.
Yeah. Rogan feels this is a pretty exciting matchup, as Tony Ferguson is a legend in the sport, and Paddy Pimblett, on the other hand, is a rising star. Many fans, however, questioned this particular fight, as Paddy is on an undefeated run in the UFC, and Tony Ferguson, on the other hand, has not won a fight in his last 6 appearances. Once considered to be the most dangerous lightweight fighters of all time, El Cucuy has only went downhill since Justin Gaethje beat him up at UFC 249. Many, including Joe, feel that this could be it for Tony. Rogan believes that Tony's downfall is rather unfortunate, as the guy who once seemed like nature's unstoppable force tore his knee in a backstage accident, and he was never the same after that. He also talked about Tony not being able to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. This particular matchup was destined not to be, as it was scheduled multiple times but could never materialize. Some random thing happened every time the two lightweight veterans were set to square off against each other, and the fight was pulled each time. This was one of the most awaited fights in the most competitive division of the UFC. Even Tony recently accepted that a part of him left when Khabib retired from the fight game. He wanted that fight so bad, but as I said, it was destined not to be.
But in terms of Paddy, do you think...
Joe was really spot on here with his breakdown of the fight, as Tony might be old, but to write him off inside the octagon would be dumb to say the least. He may have become slow now, but you cannot take that warrior mentality away from the guy. Paddy the Baddy himself has some great striking, but as Joe said, he has not really fought with the big boys of the division. This would be probably the biggest fight of his career, and may as well be the toughest challenge for him yet.
Well, even Tony versus Michael Chandler, Tony wasn't looking too bad till he ate that fucking heel, or that.
Yep, UFC 296 is going to be the last PPV event of the year 2023, and the UFC has decided to make it the best card. With 2 title fights as the main and the co-main events of the night, Tony Ferguson versus Paddy the Baddy is no less exciting for the fight fans. UFC champion Sean O'Malley had an interesting take here. Even if Paddy wins this, he might not see some massive rise in his rankings, as Tony is on one of the worst declines in the history of the UFC, and if Paddy loses, that is all the worse. For Tony, however, either way could bring end to a legendary career. A loss would leave no option but to retire, and a win would give him the perfect stage to bid adieu to this great sport on a positive note. Thanks for watching, and do not forget to drop your prediction below. Also, like and subscribe for more such amazing and informative content about the fight game.
Yeah.